Yo, what's up, guys? This is Barlex, and this is my new series, The Debate Club, Fall Off of the Debate Club. So, in this series, we're going to be examining some of the key components why the Debate Club fell off, and ultimately why it's just unsalvageable, and why we should all just give up on the Debate Club. So, without further ado, we're going to start with Charli. Charli was one of the main reasons why we had to stop using Debate Club because, let's just be real. Along with Ozempic and all the other anti-depression, anxiety medications she'd be taking, she'd just be messing up her brain and messing up everybody else's brain. But we really just got to dive into the history here with Charli. So, Charli started out as kind of like a good friend for the Debate Club, I think she was found in the Coronication server with Bridget McDouglas and all those people. And she would never tell her age, which to this day, she still hasn't ever revealed how old she is, which is kind of weird. Especially because she low-key be talking about, inappropriate things with young kids, little kids, young little kids, So, when asked about it, Charli usually just deflects and calls the person weird. So it's a pretty strong, defense in my opinion. Just call somebody weird, and what are they gonna do? So there's that. But after the Coronication server, Alex Keaveney, to nobody's surprise, like the total horn dog he is, he started flirting with her. We all told him, "Yo, Alex, you don't even know how old she is," and he said, "I don't care. Love is love, man." And I was like, "Oh, all right, well that's also a crime. Crime is crime, And he's like, "Shut the hell up, man." So I did shut the hell up, but maybe that was a wrong thing to do. Maybe I should have been looking out for my boy a little bit more. Anyways, as soon as Charli realized that Alex was capable of dating other women, she's never been the same since, You'll ask her, "Hey, Charli, how's life been going for you?" And she'll be like, "I'm gonna kill myself." She'll be like, "Hey, nobody here is funny but me." And I'll be like, "Oh, really? That's kind of sad." And she'll be like, "Yeah." But then her, idea of funny is "Oh, wow, this movie is really good. I'm gonna kill myself now." It's like, okay, are you a one-trick pony? What's going on here? Can we get a little bit more substance out of this, And then, as soon as the Mackenzie rainwater drama really just reached its height, and then Alex said he would not be dating Charli, even though he low-key was grooming her, because we definitely know she was not 18 when she first joined, I'm pretty sure. Then she went for Mallory's throat. An interesting move. She told Mallory how to find boys, but really she just ruined Mallory for a whole year. So that's kind of interesting, But regardless, Charli's still a core member, and she's got a lot of good qualities. Most of them aren't physical, and also most of them are not mental. But you gotta just take what you get. Hey, Big Club's never been that picky. We used to have 14, 30. We one time had an 8-year-old child, and hey, we've never been that big. We never been that big. Anyway, so after Charli's most recent abortion, she really just took some time off to try to work on herself. She had 3 boyfriends that spent 2 weeks, which was kind of crazy, considering Charli's trying to give Mallory dating advice, but also is getting no play. So it's what are you doing, Charli? How are you gonna give advice? I know coaches don't play, but this is a guy in a wheelchair trying to teach you how to run right. Hey, you gotta have a little bit of knowledge on how to do whatever you're doing here. So then came the time where Charli realized she was getting banned and replaced by Ella, and so then she just really started going crazy, which is kind of weird because I low-key kind of hate Ella, and there'll be another video just based on Ella, but Ella low-key ruined the server and also ruined Charli's life. So you really just have to at face value look at all the good Charli has done, which isn't much. In fact, it's pretty bad. The only redeeming quality she's ever had was to try to get Journal and Mallory together, but also that would have been a horrible idea because Journal is a horrible boyfriend, and Mallory is also very emotionally immature, despite what she thinks. She is very emotionally mature. So you know, when she's just trying to like, that's the only good thing she can do for anybody is try to put two bad people together. Like, you know, what are you gonna do with that? Like, there's nothing that can be fixed or like done there. You know, like it's just over. It's just over. It's sadly just what it is. So, where's Charli now? An interesting retrospective. Well, Charli is now pretty inactive. She might have a third boyfriend. We're not sure. But she's definitely not herself when she's single. She has no self-worth when she's not dating a boy, so, you know, she's probably dating somebody. This guy probably might have autism, but I don't see that happening, honestly, if you're asking me, because she really hates autistic people. So I just don't see this guy having autism, you know. But you gotta realize that she takes what she can get, you know. She takes what she can get. So at the end of the day, does it matter if he has autism? No, she's gonna do whatever she wants, you know. So now we look at the future for Charli. I think Charli can pull herself back out of this. First, she's got to put on way less makeup and lose some weight. Like, we rag on Sammy for being pretty big, but it's like bad. Like, it's kind of embarrassing how much weight Charli be having sometimes. So once Charli loses a little bit of weight, I think we'll be able to see a positive change in her. I also think maybe if she goes lesbian and also votes for Trump, like, we'll also see a rather positive change, because I think the liberals have really just gotten to her with like this weird like sense of like self-righteousness, when in reality, like, I don't know if she's ever done anything right, you know. Like, I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, but like, all of her relationships have just ended in disaster, and like, she's just not a fun person to be around, and she's kind of annoying to have around. So like, I think that if she was to work on herself, maybe if she was like go join like a Buddhist temple, so that she's very far away from people and she doesn't annoy people, you know, that might help her out a little bit. Also, what you have to understand, and I want this to be like pretty crystal clear, that I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, but Charli thinks she's a lot prettier than she is. So I think if like she lowered her standards a little bit and got a reality check and realized that most people like think she's like a 6 out of 10 on like a decent day, maybe she can get to like a 7.2. Like, is she maybe prettier than Mallory? Yes, but also like, I'm not saying that's calling the kettle black with the pot, but at the same time, like, all you need to do is like not have a humongous freaking nose. Like, you just need a small tiny nose, and you're not like just a freak of nature like Mallory is and Alex is. Like, you just need a smaller nose, and you're like already prettier than both those people, you know. So it's like, what are you really gonna do? Like, is that really even like something that you can be proud of? Like, oh, I'm prettier than Alex and Mallory is. Like, yo, Alex, I mean, love the guy. He looks like he's like a frog that got turned into a person, like that one movie, Princess and the Frog. That one really fat, ugly guy. He's like that guy. And I feel like every time I see him, he's like trying to pretend like he belongs in like real life, when in reality we know that he's like just a freaking weird freak of nature that should never have been like close to anybody, you know. So that's something to think about. Now, am I saying that they're the worst people in the world, the Kivanese? No, I'm just saying they're definitely taking I wouldn't be taking relationship advice from Charli if A, she looks like that. Like, not just like medium ugly, but also kind of, you know, not even medium chubby, like medium well chubby, you know, like she's pretty chubby, you know. So like, me just personally, I wouldn't be taking advice from her. But also, I wouldn't have like banked my whole life on this person, you know, because, you know, at the end of the day, like, Charli's track record is one of the worst, you know. Like, I can't think of a single relationship that has lasted for a while, aside from the one that, like, apparently the guy's dick smelled like cheese, you know. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like, you really just got to take that into consideration. We're going to put these gunships over here because this guy is going to take forever. ATDP. We're just going to send everybody out frontal solo over here, you know. and we're just gonna send these gunships over here, you know. So, you know, if you're gonna take advice from Charli, you might as well like take advice from a school shooter on how to make friends at school, you know, because like the advice is gonna be pretty freaking similar. Because she just doesn't have advice, you know. She's just not. She just doesn't have that like history and that, you know, that skill. She's just not known for making quality decisions and having like quality things to add to a conversation. And you know, the fact that so much of the Debate Club has been based around her is it's like kind of bad in my opinion. And I mean, we got to look at the other thing too. Like, she was like Hunter's biggest enemy. Like, she was the one who like made us all hate Hunter Bunter. And now look at her. Like, she tried to pretend like she liked Hunter this whole time, but she called him a fat ugly monster. You know, like, it's kind of crazy. So that's like part one of my Charli docu-series. We'll have a part two, and then we'll have Ella after that. So I'm grateful for everybody who popped on and is interested in hearing on how we can make the Debate Club great. And yeah, this is it for today.